get started. My name is Denise Whelan, and I would love to welcome you to our Road to Retirement event, where we get to hear stories from our baby boomers and our people who are looking at either retiring themselves sometime soon or being really savvy about looking forward to the time where they can retire. So I would love to start with a question, but first of all, I just want to let you know that you are going to hear some stories today from some of my favourite people in the world who are living life on their own terms in retirement, who have got fulfilment and purpose in their life, who have created an abundant financial future for themselves at all. And I'm really excited to introduce them a little bit later on. But first of all, I would love to pose you a question. And that question is, are you living life in retirement, or are you looking at planning for life in retirement exactly as you'd always imagined? That dream of when we're working so hard, raising our families, and thinking, you know what, when I retire, my life will look a certain way. So is that looking like a reality for you? The other question I'd love you to ask yourself, or to answer for us as a group, is that are you with me on the fact that when we were growing up in our generation, we were actually educated and taught to look for jobs rather than opportunities? Just pop your hand up if that resonates with you. Excellent, lots of hands up there. So our model of, when we were raised was that you work for 40 years, you work for 40 plus hours, emphasis on the plus, and then when you retire on 40% of your salary. We kind of had a capped wage mentality, so that we thought that when we reached a certain amount of superannuation, whatever we deemed that was enough, then we would go, you know what, that's enough for me to live on. I'm going to put the end to my working date and I'm going to actually slip into retirement. But the reality is, unless you are really financially savvy, like lots of people probably watching this are, and you've got a good portfolio, the reality is that so many families in this day and age are living from paycheck to paycheck, and there's just no end date on that retirement. And people can't even imagine bringing that retirement forward. Also, when I was young, when my kids were young, I didn't work. I was a stay-at-home mum, and I certainly didn't have an opportunity to earn money from home. So my superannuation that I thought that I would be able to retire on, in reality, was probably enough to live the life that I expected for about 5 years or so before the money ran out. And then what? The other stat that I learned recently absolutely blows my mind, that people, when they reach the retirement age, the average life expectancy is 6 more years. That just makes me so sad to think that people work so hard all their lives in a job, raising their family, they get to that magic retirement age, and then they only have 6 years on average to live. Who else finds that amazing? Yeah, just unbelievable. It's absolutely shocking, you're right. So just to share a bit about my story, but before I do that, the other fact that I just want to share with you is that at the moment, we really do need to change. The world is changing so rapidly, and if we stick in this same mentality that we've had all the time, we are going to get left behind. And the other thing that's happening is 4 to 5 generations of families are still all working, because people just cannot see that end date or jump over their financial burden that they've had for their whole life. So back to my story, I am Denise, as I said. I am the mum of 3 grown-up children who have all flown the nest. And if you're a mum or a dad, you will know that feeling of, when they've gone, you kind of lose a bit of purpose and you go, well, what's next for me? I've raised my family. Now what am I looking at doing? And even though I've got a job to go to, I need something outside that, and I need a sense of fulfillment and purpose. So I am an empty nester. I was actually a high school physical education and health teacher, and I did that job for 30 plus years all around Australia. And while I loved that job, it definitely didn't give me the flexibility and freedom that I was really craving. So enter this opportunity that came along across my path. This Juice Plus business, 4.5 years ago now, has literally changed my life. I wasn't actually looking for something at the time. I was stuck in that 40-40-40 model, thinking that when I reach 60, pick up my superannuation and retire, that is what my life was going to be. But this came along and I just decided to take a look at it. The products made amazing sense to me, and you're going to hear more about those in a minute. But when I really thought about this could be an opportunity for me to grow my finances, to not have that limit, to not have that lack of abundant mindset that I had to have a finite amount of money, I just went, you know what, this is an amazing opportunity. So I went in with 2 feet, I put my hands up and I went to work. And while I kept teaching full time, I built this business on the side, and I actually turned the hands forward on my retirement, moved those hands forward by 7 years. Now, my life looks totally different since then. I do have the freedom and flexibility. My family, as I said, is so spread out. I can go and visit them wherever they are, whenever they need me. And this year, just alone, I've had trips to Tasmania to spend time with my mum, been to visit my daughter for her 30th in Melbourne, up to see my daughter graduate in Townsville. My brother recently had a bit of a crisis. I was able to pop over and see him. So that freedom and flexibility and having the finances and resources to do that is just such a gift inside this opportunity. So I'm going to talk a bit more about our company and the business model behind this. But before we do that, the other thing about becoming retired and in our generation, in our season, is the fact that if you haven't got your good health, then you have nothing. You've worked all your life again, you get to the retirement age, as we've heard, the average age is 6 years, but we want to live life to the fullest. So you need to really check and take stock of your health more than ever before. So I'm going to hand to my great friend, Mark, who I admire so much. You would not believe what an Energizer bunny he is. The last time I saw him, the very first time I came across him, he was in the gym on a bicycle while everyone else was sitting around having lunch. This guy is phenomenal. So Mark, without any further ado, I'm going to pass to you to please share your journey in this space around our health and what this has done for you.
Oh, thank you, Denise. Can everybody hear me? Am I not muted, I hope? I'm not muted. And I'm not muted. Anyway, I really appreciate it. Look, I could talk for hours on the benefits of Juice Plus, the product, and the Juice Plus company, but I'll keep it simple. I'll keep it short. I came across Juice Plus in May of 1998. That's how long I have been on the product. It's simply made so much sense. I knew the benefits of fruits and vegetables, as most people do, as our parents and grandparents and their grandparents told them. And I didn't eat enough. There's about 10 vegetables I hate, to be honest, and a lot of them are good for you. I've since learnt that I need to be eating more, and we do eat more than we ever have before. And that's one thing about Juice Plus. It's a catalyst for change. It's a catalyst for diet change. It's a catalyst for awareness of fruits and vegetables. It's a catalyst for awareness of drinking more water. It's a catalyst for doing more exercise. It's funny how it works, but it just is a catalyst. So I came across it in 98, made sense to me, started taking it. Now, this is not typical. In fact, it's untypical, but I had a significant physical benefit, noticeable, very significant physical benefit when I first went on Juice Plus. And I thought, well, there's got to be either ephedrine or pseudoephedrine or some sort of stimulant in this product, or it's for real. And I had no idea about the science, about the research, about, really much about the product, because back then it was very new to Australia. It had only been in the country for literally maybe 4 months at that time. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to check this out. So I did all my due diligence. I flew to America. I met the formulator, the inventor of Juice Plus, Dr. Santillo. I met the president of the Juice Plus company, Jay Martin. I met the vice presidents, John Blair. I spoke to literally everybody I could about the product and satisfied myself that it was bona fide, that it was real, that it really was just fruits and vegetables, that it was safe for all athletes to take, because I come from that background. That was my life, has been in sport as a coach and professional athlete way back when. And so it's safe for all, Olympic athletes to take. It's safe for everybody. So that was the first thing I did. Secondly, I thought, well, everybody needs this. I'm going to jump in. Now, you've got to realize in 1998, I was in my 30s. I am now in my 60s. And the last thing on my mind at that time was retirement. It was simply that I felt everybody needed the product and I was going to share it. I had no idea about the business plan, the marketing plan, that you could make money out of this. It was just the fact that I thought, well, if I've had such a benefit, imagine what it can do to other people. And so I got involved. Well, as they say, the rest is history. I couldn't help myself. I told literally, I've told the story many times. Everybody in my address book, which we had back then, it wasn't all on our mobile phone back in those days. I had an address book, and everybody from Alan Abrahams, who was the first guy in my address book in the A's, to Vince Zafria, an old triathlon mate of mine, who is the Z's in my address book, and everybody in between, some 400 odd people I rang up, or I met personally, or I somehow spoke to. Now, out of those 400 people, about 40 of those people actually decided to get their own account with the company and join me in spreading the word. And that has created a legacy business that you can only dream about. As I said, my 23rd or 25, lost track, 23rd year in the company. It has created a lifestyle for us as a family where we've been, and again, it's a story I often tell, as our kids were going through primary and high school, we took them somewhere in Australia or around the world every single school holidays for literally 10 years. So they've been to virtually everywhere in Australia. They've been to all over Europe, from Spain to Monaco to France to Italy to Dubai to you name it, Fiji. They've been everywhere. So during that period, it was all about family. It was all about family lifestyle. And we worked hard. My wife and I have several businesses actually, and we focused our energies on the kids and on our lifestyle and on working hard. And that's great when you're in your 30s because you've got the energy to do it, and in your 40s. But once you start to get in your 50s, things happen. Things happen in the body. You just can't go as hard and as fast as you once did. I've certainly slowed down. And we're at the point now where we haven't retired, but we could, should we choose to. And that is a really comfortable space to be in. And often Vicky and I discuss, when are we going to pull up stumps? Well, the reality is you probably will never completely turn away from what you enjoy doing. You'll always do it. But we have the flexibility now to not have to sell the family home to buy down, which so many people unfortunately do. And they don't really want to leave their family home, but it's the only way they can get themselves enough of a nest egg to live on for the next 20, 30, whatever years it's going to be. So what you were speaking about, Denise, is so true. I mean, who has $1 million in super? Who does? Nobody. Not too many people. You would have to have been on a very big wage for a long, long time to have $1 million in superannuation. And when you think about the current interest rates, what we're getting paid on our money, which is virtually zero, pretty soon the banks will charge us to have our money in the bank, like some countries. So, your $1 million is not getting you much as far as, a monthly check. Whereas with Juice Plus, simply having a good, solid customer base is going to earn you several thousand dollars a year, $300, $400, $500, $600, $700 a month. That's just on customers, let alone building a significant team or business on the side of that. So we have been blessed to have been hit by a rainbow, that Juice Plus found us. We didn't find Juice Plus. And for most people, that's how it happens. It finds you. You don't find it. When you think about it, somebody introduces you, whether it's a family, like your spectacular daughter, Liz, or whether it's a friend, or whether it's an acquaintance, or whether it's through social media, whatever it is, it finds you. You don't go looking for Juice Plus. It found me in 1998. Here we are, 2021, as strong as ever, as solid as ever. I'm the greatest fan of the company and the product. I cheer everybody who joins us, who becomes part of this movement, this mission. We're a health-focused company that has, in my view, the greatest whole food concentrate that has ever existed in, on the market. It's given us the option now that we can pull up stumps whenever we like. We live in a beautiful house on the beach, and I'm not boasting, I'm just telling you the truth, that we will be able to stay in for as long as we choose to. One of our sons is already, as you said, Denise, flown the nest. He's living over next to the uni, at Sydney Uni. Our other son's still at home, but it probably won't be long. But we don't want to go anywhere. We want to stay here. This is where we started our family. This is where we love to live. It's where we want to stay. And it's because of the Juice Plus company and because of reasonably smart investments, we can choose to do what we wish in the future. So we've got a bucket list like everybody else. We all have that bucket list. And we've ticked off quite a bit in that bucket, but there's so much more we know we'll be able to do in semi-retirement. We'll never leave the Juice Plus business, never leave the Juice Plus company, but there at some stage in life, you want to say, well, I need to enjoy the fruits of our labors, and we're getting very close to that point. So to anybody listening to this call, whether it be recording or whether it be live with us today, I just want to say thanks. I want to say you're in the right place if you choose to put the work in. It doesn't come without hard work. Nothing does. Nothing good in life comes without hard work. But it is a retirement plan, bar none, par excellence, that you're able to take advantage of. And we are so grateful for the opportunity that it's afforded us and for being able to share our story, or my story, with you guys today. So thanks very much, Denise. I think I'm passing over to Sue. Is that right? I am.
Thank you, Mark.
Take it away, Sue.
Oh, thank you, darling. I just love listening to you, and I was so happy to meet you at conference. Whereas Mark's been in the business for such a long time, I'm only 10 months in, so I've only been taking the products for 10 months. My name's Sue. I'm 59 years old, and I'm proud of my age. I'm gym mad. I go every day, and I do yoga and I do Pilates. And when you get to that certain age, strength training and all that comes with it makes you sore. So I started on these products 10 months ago, and I want to talk about the little things that I noticed. Lots of little things. The first one was the energy. I got out of bed and I just wanted to go. I'm thinking, what's this old bird doing out of bed at 5 a.m. doing stuff? But my body was telling me, get up. You need to keep moving, and you need to, and I was so energetic that I just wanted to do stuff. Another big thing that I've noticed, a big little thing, is my skin. I had rough spots on my elbow, on my heels, just an age thing, I guess, but they've all disappeared. I've got smooth elbows now, and I've got smooth skin. And that's one of the things that people actually notice is my skin. No one says to me, oh, you're nearly 60 and you look it. So they're the smaller constant things that I constantly, every day, it's getting better and better and better. The more I take the products, the more healthier I feel. And sleep, oh my goodness, I will sleep and I look forward to getting up in the morning, whereas before it was always broken sleep. I couldn't turn my brain off, thinking about things that happened during the day, thinking about things that might happen tomorrow. But that was one thing that I absolutely loved, was my extra sleep. And another small thing, big thing that I've noticed is that I now would rather sit down and have a big bowl full of steamed vegetables than a big bowl full of ice cream. And trust me, I love ice cream, but I don't buy it. I don't buy it because steaming vegetables, that is what my body wants. Chocolate, don't need it. I don't want it. I don't crave for it. Lollies, I'd eat. I just couldn't eat one. I'd have to have the whole bag. But I don't want them anymore because what I'm putting in, sorry about that, what I'm putting in my body is now what my body is craving. And I thank goodness every day that these products fell in my lap 10 months ago by the amazing Greg. And I'm grateful every day that I am here, that I take non-negotiable as soon as I'm out of bed, down the hatch with my capsules, and that is my day started. So I believe I'm handing back to the beautiful Denise again. So get out there, have your products. Thank you, Denise, for inviting me. I love talking, especially about Juice Plus. Thank you.
So beautiful. And you may have noticed that Sue's nails have even turned into her Juice Plus nails. So beautiful. Thank you, Sue, and so colourful. And we absolutely don't know what Juice Plus does in people's bodies, but what we do know is adding the goodness of whole foods can be beneficial to every single man, woman and child on this planet. So all of us inside here are so grateful to be on these beautiful products. Just to give you a bit of a visual, we know that we need a rainbow of good nutrients in our body every day, so our products absolutely do that. We've got so much information on our products. If you're watching this back as a recording, or if you're on here and you would love some more information, please get in touch with whoever invited you or whoever shared this recording with you, and we can definitely give you more information about our world-class products. Speaking of which, I'm going to change gears a little bit now and talk about the mission behind the gift of good health that we have and that we love to pay forward. So we are all partnered with a company called Juice Plus, as you've heard. When you decide that you want to maybe make a plan A for your retirement, which may turn into a plan B for your retirement, which may turn into a plan A, you need to make sure that with the time that you have, that you are gifted in your life, that you want to put your energy into something that's worthwhile. When you are busy, you know, you've lived a full life and you have got a finite amount of time that we all have, you want to look at something that is going to be around for a really long time. So first of all, you need products that people want and need and want over and over again, which we all know from our hearts that that's what these Juice Plus products absolutely are. Look at the longevity from Mark, it's amazing. The next thing you want to learn is know about and look into is the company. It needs to be a company that is going to be around, that is going to pay you for the rest of your retired life. There's no point building something that's going to be around for 5 or 6 years. You've poured all your money and your energy and your resources into it, and then it folds. This company is proven. It's over 50 years. You've heard from Mark, there are so many more stories like that. We have the same founding members, Jay Martin and the team, who have been at the helm of this company for so long. They've been through global financial crisis, they've been through pandemics, and they are still here and are still growing. It's just it makes me so proud to be partnered with this company as well. The network marketing industry, it's something that, you know, maybe in our generation when we were growing up, we heard about these different pyramid scams and all that kind of thing, and it was like you were dragged along to a certain party with your parents and it just kind of turned you off. But believe you me, this industry has been reinvented for the 21st century. It's so relevant now. People are looking for opportunities rather than jobs. They're looking for ways to have more financial security, and this industry is just on fire. And we love inside our particular company that we do this with so much heart, with so much integrity. We have very high values and very high ethics, and we pride ourselves on that as well. And the last thing we need to look at, how we get paid inside here. So we have an amazing compensation plan that we actually get paid 6 ways on. I'm going to talk about 3 of those ways a little bit later on, but I'm going to leave you in suspense on that for now, because we're going to hear from some of our other partners inside here. And I adore this next lady. She is just a goddess. She, I'm not going to steal any of her story. I'm just going to pass straight to her and let her share her story. So Liz, please share your story with us.
Hi, Denise. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm really, really happy to be here, and I really want to share my story because 5 years ago, I really didn't think I would be where I am today. 5 years ago, my life looked very different. And as Mark said, I wasn't looking for something, this found me, and I'm so grateful that it did. With some resistance in the beginning, it wasn't what I wanted to do. I wasn't looking for something because back then I worked 2 jobs. I built a career over 30 years. I was very happy with what I did, but in the industry I was in, there was scarcity of people with that knew what they were doing. So I was running 2 jobs, and I was running myself to the ground. Between the 2 jobs, I was working anywhere between 50 and 70 hours, depending on the week. It was a really difficult time because I was kind of torn as to, it was a time in my life where I should have been thinking about winding down. I was 50 years old back then. I just had a birthday and turned 55. And instead of winding down, it seemed like life was getting busier and busier and busier. And it was actually affecting my health. And it wasn't a really good thing because the busier I became, the less time I had for me. So what I was looking for back then was time freedom. I didn't really know it at the time. And when this opportunity found me, as I said, there was resistance. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to look at anything else. I didn't have the time. I was so busy that I just couldn't afford to put my time elsewhere. My husband was a fly-out worker. I'm a busy mum. Helped with the business. You know, there was so much in my life, I just didn't want to do it. So when the opportunity found me, I said, no, I don't want to do this. However, because I come from the health and wellness space, I was curious around the products, and I thought, you know, this is good because this is something that I would need to share if they're actually as good as they say. So I did the researched the company, researched the products, and I fell in love with both and developed an unshakable belief in both. So what that did was help me share with in my current positions with people that I was talking to already about other things in their health. So I also started with just a customer base. I wasn't looking to build this business, but what happened was the bigger my customer base became, the more I started to think and become curious about this opportunity and what it could actually do if I actually decided to go with this as a business. So as my income grew, I wound down the hours in my other jobs. Within 12 months, maybe 16 months, I left one job altogether. So I only had this business to now work on and one other job. So it gave me a little bit more time to do so. I hit a pinnacle position within 4 years of starting, and now Juice Plus is my only income. This is all I do. I love it. I wake up every morning with purpose. I have a spring on my step. I don't go a day without taking the products, and I rave about them to everyone because I know how good they were for me. I've experienced how great they are for all my customers and the people I've shared it with. But the one thing, apart from the health side of it and everything else that you've already heard from these wonderful presenters, what it's done to me is it's given me my time back. I also have been able to be in a position where I can help family members when they've needed to. Like you, Denise, I've been able to just drop what I'm doing, take my laptop with me and fly wherever I need to fly if someone needed me. One of my daughters live in Sydney. I'm also an empty nester. They've both moved out of the home. My mum wasn't too close to me. Since then, I've been able, instead of selling my family home, we've extended onto it and we've built a granny flat for my mum and have brought her to live with us. Retirement was something that scared me, watching my mum live on the pension. So I just didn't know how we were going to do it. And it was probably going to be, as Mark said, sell the family home, downsize to be able to do so. But what we've been able to do is extend on that, bring her to live with us so she doesn't have to worry about rent anymore. She now has her pension solely for her to do what she wants to do. Since last month, my husband is now semi-retired. He's no longer a fly-out worker that is a lot away from the home as much as he used to be. He now only works 1 week every month. And because I'm able to pack my business and take it wherever we want to, we've just invested in a little caravan, seeing as we can't fly. And we're just going to, every 3 weeks stint that he's home, we're just going to take off on the caravan and travel. We get to spend more time together and do the things that we love. It wasn't something that I could see 5 years ago, and I certainly didn't expect it to change so rapidly. But the opportunities are there. And as Mark mentioned earlier, you know, nothing good comes easy. It was difficult. juggling all those things at once wasn't easy, but I could see the potential behind it if I gave it a good go. And I'm so fortunate that I was exposed to the opportunity. And I'm so grateful that I hung in there when times got tough, because today life is just great, you know, and I want to share that with people and help people to be able to be that and live that as well in their futures. There's a beautiful opportunity that can be had, and you can live your best life. All you have to do is, you know, be open to new things. So definitely get in contact with the person that has invited you along or is sending you this recording. The opportunities are endless. You are the writer of the story of where this opportunity can take you. All you have to do is reach out. And I believe I'm handing it now to Greg. Thank you very much for inviting me. I hope that that's helped somebody to be able to reach out and maybe change their life as well.
Thank you very much, Liz. That's a very hard act to follow. It was lovely meeting you and all the guys down in Byron Bay at the Leadership Retreat. One of the absolute blessings in this business to meet people who are living their best life. So my name's Greg. My wife is the host. She's upstairs at the moment. We're in Yeppoon. So my story was I spent 43 years living in the Northern Territory in a place called Gove in northeast Arnhem Land, which was an Aboriginal settlement which had an alumina refinery. So I spent 36 years in the refinery, and in 2014 they shut down the plant and 1,000 people had to leave because it was an Aboriginal settlement. So I guess one of the quandaries, Mark touched on it before about how much do you have in super and how much do you need? And for us in mining, we were blessed. I was absolutely blessed to have worked in that environment for such a long period of time in paradise. But I guess the question is, how much do you need? How long's a piece of string? So Denise and myself moved down to Gladstone. We didn't know if we were going to live there for the rest of our life. Thank God we didn't. We're in Yeppoon now. But I actually spent another 20 months in a refinery there. 20 months without a holiday. So that piece of string was getting shorter and shorter. And then someone actually made up their mind for me because I actually got flicked. So for the second time in 2 years, my job and income was taken away from me. But I think I decided there and then that that was enough. Like, bugger the piece of string, put it in the cupboard, and I was going to live my best life, whatever that would be. So Denise was still at school, being a senior PE teacher to a rabble of 1,600 kids. And every day I'd pack her off to school, I'd walk Charlie the wonder dog, clean the pool, play golf, and living my best life. But it wasn't. I actually started applying for jobs, anything that was going on the council, a cleaner out at the gas plant, which meant I would have had to go on a ferry twice a day. I applied. I was looking to do a dog walk. I don't know why, just for something different. I actually went and had a meeting with a lady to deliver pamphlets to people's houses. And she said, if you work very, very, very hard, you might end up on $100 a week. And I thought, what the hell am I doing? So luckily enough, Denise was scrolling on Facebook one day and she come across this opportunity. Luckily for me, I was a supportive partner and I had some medical issues, and she said, why don't you be my guinea pig? So we jumped on the products. In 4 short months, I had amazing results, and we looked at each other and said, hand on heart, we could actually recommend this to people. And so we did. Denise has already shared and will probably elaborate on the fact that she was able to walk away from teaching after 14 months in the business, which is an absolute blessing. And then we got to do this every day. So I kept going to Kmart and Big W and buying whiteboards. I was the wingman that hid behind her. She was the absolute leader of the pack and of our beautiful team, Pearl, and I run the numbers, and I thought that was pretty cool. But once we actually got into building my team and I got out of my own way, I actually found a real purpose. And the purpose was in sharing the journey of so many people and utilising the, well, at the time, limited skills that I had, and hopefully they're growing, to share this journey and go from management mode, which I've done for 38 years, into mentoring people, which I really, really enjoy. Sue is part of our team, an absolute blessing in our team. She shared before about the products. And for people like her to be able to now call them a dear friend and help them realise their dreams. And she shared with us the other day that the goal that she has is to buy a little house. It doesn't have to be a mansion, but something that she could call her own and share with her beautiful mum that she looks after. So things like that are an absolute blessing that people share their dreams with us, and we have an opportunity to link arms with them and make those dreams become a reality. So it's an absolute blessing for us. We get to travel. We get to meet beautiful people who are on here today. I mentioned before the leadership retreat down in Byron Bay. That was pretty good. I'm glad we got in there before they started shutting down New South Wales. We've been to our conferences all around Australia, to the Gold Coast twice now. We've been to a conference in Barcelona. I had the pleasure and the honour and the joy of taking Denise on her first European vacation. And we got to hang out with 10,000 people at the Olympic Stadium in Barcelona, where Bear Grylls was the main presenter. So things like that may not have happened in our normal retirement, but we get to do it with people who are living their best life. We've been blessed to Nellie share this opportunity in our team pool with 500 different families and over 5,000 people we've introduced the products to. So that is a blessing and an honour that we take very seriously. And it's an absolute joy to be doing this in my retirement. It's funny, I came into this retired, but I absolutely know for sure that I will never be retired. I'll do this to the day I die. And I guess it'd be fair to say that with our awesome products on board, then that's going to be later rather than sooner. So thank you very, very much for the honour and the opportunity to share with you guys. I will say again that I'm blessed to be able to hang around with people who are living their best life. And every day for us is like a book. You think about if you're either working every day, doing the same job, menial or otherwise, or in retirement, finding something that gets your passion. And for us, every day is a new book. We were walking on the beach the other day and Denise came home. We talked to a young lady down in Hobart, and a couple of hours later, Denise got on a call with a lady in Bangladesh. So every day is a clean slate. It's very exciting. It's the best business to be in. And if you are wondering whether you should give it a try, why not? What if? So thanks very much for sharing, and I'm going to pass it back to my lovely wife, Denise, who's upstairs.
Thank you, Greg and Liz. Amazing stories, and I'll never get sick of hearing, lives change like that. It's just incredible. What a gift that we have, that we just shout loud and proud about and absolutely love paying forward. So I've got one more thing to share with you, and I mentioned it before, and that is how we get paid inside this space. It took me a little while to get my head around this, because when I was a teacher, I got paid one way, and it didn't matter if I did a better job than the person sitting at the desk next to me, or a really, if I was doing a bad job, we still took the same home the same pay. And as a teacher, that was capped after 10 years. So after teaching for 30 years, there was nowhere I could go that was going to pay me anymore. I did do a deputy principal job at one point, but no one wants that. That's a pretty stressful place to be. You're dealing with a lot of, angry parents and so on. But anyway, back to what we do. So at the moment, if you are watching this as a recording before the 30th of June, 2021, or if you're on here live, we have an amazing opportunity to join our mission at the moment for $55 in Australia or $57.50 in New Zealand. That blows my mind. Under normal circumstances, it's $165 in Australia, $172.50 in New Zealand, which is an incredible gift all the same. So if you've missed the deadline by 30th of June, don't panic. This is still an incredibly easy way to get in on this amazing opportunity as well. So once you have purchased your franchise, the company then, who has been around 50 plus years, who has never missed a paycheck, pays us in a few different ways. So like I said, there are 6, but I'm just going to focus on the 3. So the first one is a retail profit. When, as Liz shared, we rave about the products because we love them so much, people around us notice how full of health and vitality we're looking, and they say, what are you doing? I want to know what you are using in your body and what you're using in your life to level up. So we share our results, we talk about our results, we share about the people with the people that we care, and the company pays us, the people who are doing the work, a retail profit rather than going to middleman with our products on the shelf. That's what I love about this business model as well. So we get paid a retail profit. We get paid bonuses. Again, who gets bonus in their job? I definitely didn't as a teacher. And the reason that our company has bonuses to pay us, the people, is because we are over here sharing the love with all the people that we care about. And then the money that normally would go into a traditional business or office, into the office space, into advertising, into wages and salaries, actually gets paid directly to us who are doing the work because we love what we do so much. So the company goes, that's amazing. Here are some extra bonuses that you can go for if you want to. There's never any pressure to reach those bonuses if you don't want to, but they are there as generous little carrots for us to run after as well. Our bonuses start from $100 and they go all the way up to $30,000. Our company has just released a whole new round of bonuses that's really exciting as well. So that's just some other extra gold that you can pick up along the way. But for me, the most magic inside this company, inside this business model, is what we call the residual income. Now, this is the income that you can earn wherever you are in the world, whatever you're doing, because this is a global company as well. So in our team, we've got franchisees or partners that we have linked arms with in the UK, in Bahrain, in Malaysia, in the UK, I think I said that already, in Canada, in USA, in New Zealand. There are so many places, so that when we are sleeping, our business is still working on the other side of the world. The other thing about this is that this business, you can leave in your will. It's an asset business that you can leave to your family. That just made me so excited when I found this out. So the work that I'm doing right now is going to benefit not just me for the rest of my life. I'm going to get paid and it's going to be a growing income for the rest of my life, but my children and my grandchildren for generations to come will get paid on the work that I'm doing now. That just absolutely blows my mind. And I just feel so grateful that this opportunity is such a pay it forward and has such a massive ripple effect. So again, thank you so much for joining us. If you're watching this back, thank you. And I just, again, want you to ask yourself those questions. What if this is something that could either move the hands forward on your retirement, or also if it helps you to live in abundance in that style of retirement that you've always dreamed of, that you deserve, and that you can have, be, and do more in your life, no matter what stage of life that you're in. So thank you to all of our presenters. That was amazing. I really appreciate you all. I love that this opportunity, this business, this company has brought us all together. And yeah, please reach out to the person who's invited you or has shared this recording with you and get those questions answered. We would love to welcome you into our family and see you on the inside. Bye for now. Stop recording.